I always feel like make every game as if it's the last game you'll ever make.
I'm really excited about doing that again. I think it was like 97, 98, basically before electricity. We were working in a company in London, and I remember we were in a big meeting, there was lots of people around the table. You were talking about how we should just make the game rather than produce the whole project. It was much more about hands on the pad and how that feels. And I remember just in my head going, yes, I didn't know you at all, just thinking, yes, this guy knows what he's talking about. Cut to nearly 30 years later, and you're still here.
And still 25.
And still 25. How do you do it? I think I was very frustrated at the time because there was so much theorising about how to make games. A lot of the big companies telling the smaller companies how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, talking like PlayStation 1 era. It was a real moment for me to have someone else kind of echo what I thought, which is we need to get like how games that make people feel something. That was a real moment for me. We've always been really passionate about coffee in our companies, and a lot of people, when they first arrive and they see this amazing coffee machine with like really nice beans, sometimes they think we've done that to make people work harder, which is a real surprise to me, because the reason we've done it, I think, is to get to quality, right? So you want a really nice drink in the morning. You need that equipment and you need that skill, and so we help people learn how to make really good coffee. And the side effect of that is that we create this lovely culture and community around coffee. So you walk in the morning and people are hanging out and chatting around the coffee machine. Like it's the heart of the kitchen, and the kitchen is the heart of the studio. But I think quality becomes very complicated. And I think that's something you're really good at, is isolating what's the next step to take to get to quality. Whereas I've seen other people settle, oh, that's good enough. So it's the choices of what we're not doing that turns it from just being quality to quality where it counts.
Thank you, by the way. I think it's that curve that you get to sort of 70, 80% of quality takes 20% of the effort, and then every inch you're pushing it on past that gets harder and harder and harder, and that's why I think it gets easier to settle rather than saying, no, we're going to keep pushing. We believe in people being together, passionate people, aligned people who really want to go on a journey together, who want to live for those conversations that we're having every day to improve things, to add new ideas, to get things on screen, to play the game together. When I wake up in the morning, I'm really excited to come into work, to speak to people. You know, when I walk in, I'm really proud and honoured to work with the people we get to work with, and the talent that we have in the studio is something absolutely incredible.
When I think of the team that we have now compared to what we had in the past, is what we have now is this, we have a small team, a connected team that we're listening to, and we're paying attention. And I think everyone's paying attention to each other. And what I love that's different is people are free to put their hands up. What I love is that they're very communicative, and that sort of confidence, everyone being heard, I think will only strengthen what we make. And the second thing, I think, is context. As big teams grow, you lose connection and context. And context for me is understanding what's important to you, or understanding where you are. The more times we talk and the more times we meet, the more context I build. So I have a lot of context, and you have a lot of context about me because we've worked together for so long. And generating that within the team, A, it just feels good, so there's your journey, but B, I think that's the key to quality. If you know how someone's feeling when you go up and speak to them, that for me is a key ingredient to achieving quality. One thing you said, which was this idea of people wanting to work in a great game studio,
Right, yeah.
versus people who want to make great games.
Yeah, so there is a world of difference between I want to work in a great game studio and I want to make great games. And making great games is something you have to participate in. You want to come here and give your all, be vulnerable, be open, express yourself, show your creativity, contribute massively. Those are the kind of people we want at 100-Star,
Yeah.
right? If you start from the end point, I think it's really hard to get there because you're looking at the problem the wrong way.
What do you mean end point?
Well, if you start by saying, oh, I have a desire just to make great games, how do we get there? I think what you're not doing is looking at the team and the people you want to work with. The reason it's different at 100-Star is that we work directly with these people every day. So we're one core part of the whole organism that works together. You know, we talk of it sometimes as kind of this one brain organism, but we all contribute to that. We're all different parts of the one brain working together. By assembling a team who are incredibly talented, incredibly passionate about what they do, the end result of that will be something very special. But we don't start from the end result and think, how do we get there? We start from the staff, right? We start from the team together and think, how do we just create the best environment for these people to work together, the best design, the best creative vision that's going to let them show how good they are. And then the rest of it almost takes care of itself in its own way. Let's think about the team first. That's what drives our decision.
There's something at HundredStar that you instill, is this idea that let's look at it in the game. Let's hold the pad.
Yeah, absolutely. That always been obsessed by what's that experience through your thumbs, you know, like what does it feel like? How can we connect to the player through that? In a way, it's quite simple, isn't it? That you've got that pad, that's your connection into the world and the kind of audio-visual feedback you're getting as well. And that's what counts. You know, I think often because of the complexity of all of these departments coming together, we can lose ourselves in too much management speak or production.
Design.
And really, design, theoretical design, and really it's all about how can we create these experiences for the player and how does that translate through the pad. And that's why all our milestones are about what's in the build when they go. What does our publisher play in the build? What are we playing in the build? If it's not in the build, who cares, you know, in a weird way, because it needs to be things that are realised in the game that we're all getting to experience together. Once it's on screen, it's shared as well. Like you and I can have this conversation, we can talk about an idea, but we really, in our heads, they're two different things, you know, and if you could see inside our brains, that'd probably be terrifying, but there would be two separate entities. And the lovely thing about having it all on that one kind of tapestry, on that one canvas, is that it's outside of our heads, and now it's a shared entity that we're getting to play together. And now we're both jumping off the same foundation and the whole team's jumping off the same foundation. And we can turn through our ideas loads of times and we're playing this lovely sort of 50th, 60th, 70th iteration of core mechanics, but getting it on screen, pad in hand is so important.
I remember many years ago, unlike us, we did a little bit of focus testing and it was on Arkham City. We had 2 or 3 people in our meeting rooms. 2 of the 3 players jumped off and went off into Arkham City and started gliding around and looking for stuff. And one of the players just sat there on a gargoyle and just moving the camera. And I remember you were just standing there whilst everyone was a bit worried. You were just kind of standing there watching. And then eventually someone went into that room. You heard them whisper, "Are you okay?" And then you could see the guy turn to them and say something. We're like, what did he say? What did he say? And then they came back out and they just said to all of us, we said, what did he say? Does he have a problem? Like, does he not know what to do? And they said, no, no, no. He just said, I'm Batman. And I remember you just went like that. And it's moments like that where you're like, that's really special. The confidence that you have to just make those design choices that are going to create those moments for players. That's really special.
Cool, man. Yeah, I think we're so lucky to do what we do. That's something that I always feel about making games. Like how lucky are we to work with the people we work, getting to do what we do. To me, it's crazy. Like I feel so fortunate. I really actively try never to normalise how lucky we are.
Talking about why we started HundredStar, I think there was a point where a few years ago, you and I looked each other in the eye and went, we're kind of excited to do something different.
Yeah.
And there was never a good time to leave the previous company that we loved so much, still love. That moment where we made the difficult decision.
Yeah.
And then we came to Hackney Wick in London, which is where we are now. And we must have done 1,000 laps of this park in the summer, talking about what we wanted to do differently and forming that sort of plan. And then we watched a movie and we came up with an idea for a game that we wrote. We went to a few people that we knew. We asked them if they thought it was a cool idea. And they literally grabbed it out of our hands and went, yes, which was really exciting. And at the same time, we were talking to people that we've worked with many years, young and old, that we felt had the principles and the behaviours, the qualities, and I think overall this idea of alignment. We started with 32 people, which is a big group of people. We had to find an office, right? And we found this amazing studio in the Olympic Park, which is where we are at the moment in London. And then we had this great idea that everyone was really excited about. The stars just kind of lined up in February, a couple of years ago. And now, here we are today. We have a great team, small team,
Yeah.
but that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And we have a working prototype.
Fully playable game.
Fully
That's what we
playable game.
have. Yeah.
And I think that journey has just been really enjoyable for everyone involved.
Yeah. Kind of the industry in a lot of ways had moved towards some models of games that we didn't particularly like and that weren't the kind of games we played either. So kind of getting back to the games that we wanted to make. It was about returning to that core and then seeing who wants to come on that journey with us.
Making Arkham Asylum in that little studio in London, the thing that strikes me most is we had no idea what we had in our hands. We liked it, but we had no idea what was about to happen. And I remember there was a French video game magazine at the time called Jeux Video. We had an embargo when the reviews were allowed to drop. They dropped 4 weeks early. The review score was 95%. And none of us believed it. We all thought it was a joke. We thought it was a fake piece. None of us believed it. But there suddenly was this tingle of excitement, like, what if that's real? If that's real, then suddenly all of our kind of dreams have come true.
When we're making the game, like, I sort of feel my job is a little bit to never be happy with it. Everything we do, I always think that we can make it better. We can make it better. And the team really share that as well. You know, even things that we think, this is working really well, and then someone will come in and go, oh, but what if we do this? How do we change that? Like, well, let's keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So I think that sort of contributed towards that sensation of when we saw the review, and I think it might have been Games Master Next, which was like 96, 97%. It was surprising because we were constantly in this state of, we can make it better, we can make it better, we can make it better. And I think that's what happened over the course of development, and something that we live by is just that we're never satisfied with what we have. It's not really a conscious decision. I think it's just people who constantly want to push. If you found magic, maybe there's more magic there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe,
but that's where most
stop.
people, in my experience, that's where most people stop.
I think kind of with every game that we make, we never leave anything on the table. I always feel like make every game as if it's the last game you'll ever make. Like, put everything into it. I think there's sort of a sense of you never know what's going to come next anyway. So we pour everything in to every game that we make, kind of creatively, that passion that goes into it. And then when we're going from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, there's definitely a sort of reset. There's a time to sort of step back and then go, okay, what have we got? I'm not really one to look back too much. You know, I always think, let's look forward.
Well, you never play our games, do you?
Once they ship, I don't play them, no. And I always think, what's next? What's exciting? What comes next? You know, because I think that's what gives me the buzz. It's like a game in and of itself. It's like, we do something, it's fun. And for me, then that fun almost fades. And it's like, I need that buzz again. I need to find the next thing that pushes that even further. You know, I need to keep getting that buzz, because it's the buzz of creating something special and interesting that people pick up and play and go, yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's where
and
you're
then
happiest.
when I see them play it,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, that's cool. And then I get a buzz off that. And they're like, right, now we need to go again. Now we need to go better. What can we do to push that even further? And I think from the outside, sometimes maybe you feel like making games is about, oh, we wrote a great design document and then we made that game. And that's really not how it works. Certainly not how it works for us. We don't really waste too much time on documents. You know, what's the shortest design document we can make that gets us to building the game as quickly as possible and get kind of hands-on and playing it is the absolute key. And then it's about making thousands of decisions. Like, a game is never one decision. It's about every day coming in, decision, decision, decision. Like, how can we
Well, that's an issue, because I think people
things?
hang on to those. And I think, again, comes with experience. And I think that's what's lovely about the team that we work with. They have the experience to not hang on to those ideas, right? So we let those go.
We think there's a real market for single-player action-adventure games that tell an amazing story with characters I can connect to. There's this sense of where the industry's going, but I think if you're making something that's special and exciting and energizing for people, then people are going to get on board with that. And that's kind of, to be honest, that's what started with Rocksteady, right? It's always been our mantra that if we're really passionate about it, and if it's the games we want to play, other people will feel that passion when they pick up the game and play it.
I'm really excited about doing that again. We just want to make the industry a better place, right? And it needs it. It needs to be made a better place. But also, the progress week to week, year to year, is something that is really special here.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be here in 2 years, slightly greyer, with this enormous feeling of
Get younger somehow.
look how much we've made, but also from a cultural point of view, from a team point of view, every day we're making great moments in the game, but we're also making great moments in people's lives. There's two things together. That sense of energy that we're in, moments and friendships and history and we're making, and then the idea of that contribution coming into the game as well.
What I'm looking forward to is seeing what the new members of the team can contribute. We have a fixed number of people in the studio, right? We're 100
How
staff.
many is that?
100.
What, 100 people?
100 people.
Is that why we're called 100-star?
No more than that. And I think that really keeps us disciplined as well. We don't hire people to solve problems. We hire people because we think they can contribute massively to what we're developing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what the new stars are going to add to the mix when they come along, when we find them. Do you remember the jig?
We never did the jig.
Never did the jig. Yeah, it's when we very first signed the first dev agreement, and we were like, when the company gets up and running, we'll do the jig. Like, yeah, we've got a company. I didn't do the jig.
Don't do the jig.
That was an impression of what the jig could be like.
Yeah, all right. But we've never done it.
No, this is just a tribute.
We've actually never celebrated. Do you know that?
No, we never did.
We've never done I think we've done occasional fist bump.
There isn't a time to do the jig because there's always, how can we look to develop? The reason I brought up the jig is because it just reminds me so much of starting 100-star. That transition from Rocksteady being a new company to something that was successful felt very organic, didn't it? It didn't feel like it's sort of, oh, I could pinpoint that moment.
Yeah.
But I think having been through that and feeling that and now starting 100-star, I think that actually feels quite different because now with the experience of having done that, it feels like, no, this does feel like that moment, do you know what I mean? That magic that was there, created by the team and that combination of all the talents of the team, I can feel that. Do you know what I mean?
That's
what
experience, right? That second time round, you're like, okay, this already feels, that's what I mean, that sort of tipping point.
And we never knew that at Rocksteady. You know, you never knew that exact moment, but I feel that here now, like really clearly, I feel that with the people that we've got here and the game we're making here. Are we? No, we're not. No jigging.
No jigging.
We need a t-shirt.
Never
no
do the
jigging.
jig.